The show today is brought to you by Manscaped, the leaders in below the waistline grooming. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we understand below the waistline grooming is important. It's important to take care of your short and curlies and keep them looking nice and neat for yourself from a hygiene perspective and for entertainment perspectives as well. And the best way to do that is with the Lawnmower 4.0 or Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 that does have that Lawnmower 4.0 with the tactical light that, helps you out when you're in the shower. Got that light on. Sometimes a little dark in the area. It be like that sometimes, Deke. You know that. But you also got the 2-in-1 body wash. You got the shampoo, the conditioner, all of these other awesome products that Manscaped offers to you, just for you. You want them. You need them. They'll make you feel better, make you feel more confident as well. And because we have a promo code, we're even going to save you some money today, all right? So that promo code is MOATS. If you use that, you'll get your 20% off along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com. And now that I think about it, Deke, cuffing season is getting here, baby. You know what cuffing season is like, man. So please.
Gotta bring your A game.
Please bring your A game, all right? Manscaped can help you do that, but you don't want to be caught less than ready during cuffing season. So shout out to manscaped.com.
Just felt right, dude. Defense getting TJ Watt. I mean, I'm sure that has a big part of it, but man, I
also
like the
coming
vibes.
off of the bye week, more preparation. I thought Matt Canada was more confident in what he was calling, and the execution was better. Still wasn't as good as it could have been. We left a lot of points out there, man. Touchdown opportunities we left out there, but it was definitely a step in the right direction. But yeah, I ain't about to put that on Claypool like that, man. Y'all got me messed up, man. Don't do that.
I'm just saying the one report's out there about distraction. Now we don't know one way or another. I just feel like now here's the other thing. We started doing different formations without Claypool too.
Absolutely,
that has to be a part of it. So even if you want to take out just the whole locker room vibes and what Claypool was bringing from a chemistry standpoint, just how we played is different too without Claypool. Maybe there's more veracity to that at least.
I thought that
bigger personnel.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely a part of it. I also thought the matchup helped us as well. Like
they did have a lot of injuries.
Like, come on, man, it's a lot of context to win it. That's why I'm just like, man, don't put that on Claypool as like you move him out and now everything is like perfect, because that's no different than what people were saying when it was Mitch. And it was like, oh, get rid of Mitch, put Kenny out there, everything is perfect, or fire Canada and everything is perfect. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think it was like, because we do not know the validity of that whole locker room report, and that's my other part. Is like, man,
it's speculation, but I do think what I said on the tail end of that of just, all right, Steeler football. Gentry out there, Connor Hayward, Derek Watt, committed to running the ball. I don't know if Claypool not being in the lineup has anything to do with it, because if you have a Claypool, Pickens, Deontay, you want to get those three on the field.
Absolutely.
So you're taking one of the bigger guys out.
And we also said, too, the blocking was a lot more consistent across the board, because, as we said, it's never just been Claypool or one player that wasn't sustaining their blocks or wasn't blocking the way that they are capable of. All of them dudes at some point in time, including your favorites, were not making their blocks or not consistently showing the effort that you would expect from them, man. But as a whole, though, this definitely was the type of game that we wanted to see, though, man. It definitely felt like a vintage Steeler performance. But I thought also it was a change in philosophy. We talked about how we didn't know if we were a pass first unit or a run first unit. We want to throw the ball 40, 50 times with Kenny. And outside of yesterday, we hadn't seen a performance where they really dialed it back and tried to focus on running the ball. I thought yesterday was one of those ones where I want to say was like pretty much even in terms of runs and passes. But more importantly, it felt as if we were setting up our passes off of the run, versus it being the flip side where we're trying to set up the run off of throwing. It was like, nah, man, yesterday, man, we were able to hand that ball off, and that's no different than when you see Tom Brady, when you're seeing some of these other veteran quarterbacks, they want to do it off of the run because it makes it simple for you. It makes it easier to read. And when you're able to have that type of constant running game, man, it takes some of the pressure off of you as a quarterback. I thought yesterday, Matt Canada, when he was calling some of these calls, he had that intention. We're going to run this rock, and we're going to keep running it. And then we're going to play action off of it, but then we're going to come back to this thing and run it some more. I really enjoyed that, man, because we really hadn't committed to running the football or even playing the big personnel game at any point in time this season outside of yesterday too, man. So that was also, I thought, for Matt Canada, one of those things that when we're looking at him and how he's continuing to improve, like we talk about Kenny Pickett, like we talk about the offense, like we talk about the blocking, those are some of the things to him that I'm like, I like this. Like, this is definitely steps in the right direction as well. I like what we're seeing right now. Like I said, I'm not about to say that this is an addition by subtraction, no Claypool concept, because then that would be implying that he was the issue. To me, I don't think he was the issue. I do like how we responded out the bye week versus the Saints, but it's still a very small sample size as well. Now, in the short, immediate, yes, it does look good. Let's see, though. Can we repeat this, man? Let's keep building upon this, man. We ain't going to just put all this on Claypool, though, baby.
No, we ain't putting it all on Claypool. But it is a thought. It is a little bit of a thought. We need to fix a lot of other stuff. Defense getting healthy was a big part of that, too. Running the ball better. I mean, these are all various things, right? Mm-hmm. And the bye week helped with that, getting healthy, and also just the offense coming together. Whatever they were doing behind the scenes. Pickett was talking about studying more, getting on the same page. Mm-hmm. Najee was talking about fixing stuff in the locker room and just doing things differently. So something happened. Some type of flip switch. At least that's what I felt just watching the game. It felt like there was this all-in attitude across the board that we've been missing at times throughout the last couple seasons. Anything with Freiermuth, Pickens getting more targets, Warren taking it to the house?
No. Like I said, for me, it's just a different perspective. I like how you look at it and you're like, man, you know, these guys look, they're all bought in. They're more committed. To me, I look at it as, man, you guys had the bye week and you came out more prepared. And you came out there and you played with confidence and you executed because
being at home doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I'm looking at it more like that way than like them necessarily like recommitting or refocusing. It's more so just, man, they had time to, number one, get healthy, but number two, get more confident and comfortable in the concepts that they're being asked to do. You know, if we only look at the intangible, then that's week by week. That's going to go up and down, right? If you're feeling good this week and you got momentum and you're at home, we're going to play great. If we're on the road and we didn't sleep well and the crowd's not behind us, we're not going to play well. But if you look at the intangible and we're looking at, man, these are the reasons why they played well this week, that's the stuff that we're like, no, this travels. Running game, blocking like that travels. You know, defense, creating turnovers. It wasn't as if they did anything special in terms of the interception. It was just Casey being in his spot, doing what we're supposed to do. We laughed, well, not laughed about it, but we acknowledged it when we first signed him and was like, man, he has so many picks, but some of them are almost like they bounce right to him. That's because he's always in the right space. Two-man defense, he has to be over top. Levi Watts does a really good job of making sure he's the low-man defender, so that we got to put a little bit more air on it. Jarvis Landry doesn't handle it the way that he needs to, and it puts it perfectly in position for Casey to just make the play he's supposed to make. Doesn't have to do anything special, just make the play you're supposed to make. Those are things that we can keep building upon and be like, you know what, man, heck yeah, we can count on this going forward. Levi Wallace interception. Man, in phase, head around, make a play on the ball, and actually finish the play. Those are, once again, things that it's like, yo, we don't have to have anything special happen. This is nothing that, you know, we need an outside variable. That's just us doing what we're supposed to do. So I look at it more like that than, you know, take away a Claypool and it opens up this, or guys get more committed and guys are just feeling better now. It's just more like, I just look at it like, yo, these dudes are just able to execute because they're more confident in what they were asked to do this week.
Sure. I mean,
but either way, man, as long as it works, shoot.
Well, no, I was going to say we should have won those 3 games that I kept talking about, the Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins with a Claypool. Mm-hmm. And some of that was actually due to defense. 2 of those games were
self-inflicted. Actually,
all games were due to defense. The other one was
self-inflicted at times, man, where it's like,
so that wasn't particularly on Claypool. But maybe it could be a mix of all of it. Maybe without Claypool, if that report's true, distraction, maybe just people are more locked in.
And think about it in the concept of this too. Even if it's not necessarily Claypool a distraction, the message also is this. Claypool has been a starting receiver for the Pittsburgh, still a second-round pick, and we traded him within 3 years. If you're a second-round pick or later, what are you looking at and feeling like you're confident in? You know, if we'll move on from this dude who's been a key part of our offense since he's joined this team, and we'll move on from him in season, none of y'all are safe. Unless you're like a first-round or a second contract guy, right? So that's the other messaging that it does send, that maybe not necessarily saying that Claypool is a distraction or anything negative, but when you see a guy like him get moved out that locker room, when you in there and you not on that level, you know what that does to you? You like, bro, I'm about to go study a little bit more. I'm going to go work out a little bit, man. Like, because you don't feel like, man, you're safe enough anymore if that guy can get moved on from. So I do think that also plays a part of this thing too, man.
Right. I guess the locked in or focus could be two different reasons.
Yeah,
That could be a reason there.
Heck yeah, dude.
I brought up just the formations changing. We have bigger personnel out there. But also, how many times have we been falling back to, at least just us talking about it, where Steelers have so much talent at receiver. There's so much talent at receiver. Now you lose one, it's like, okay, now we like really got to be detailed about who we want to get the ball, how we want to call it.
It's more intentional now. Heck
yeah, exactly.
Like I can't just call a superficial play because I have athletes that I think are always going to win. It's like, oh man, well now I'm short one of these dudes. Now we really need to design this to the best of our ability right here. And some of that you could put as a fault on Canada if that's truly the case. We don't know this information. We're always just talking about it, but I'm sure that does come into play when you have the array of weapons that we've had this year and obviously last year as well. I'm sure that does fall into it, man.